Okay, before people sit and say you're hating on Daisy Ridley because of her performance, I think she did fine in this movie. But We Bury the Dead is actually not that good of a movie, and you really can't buy into what you were watching on the screen. Now, We Bury the Dead was Regal's mystery movie last night, and I have to say this was the least promoted mystery movie that I have seen. Obviously, you don't know what the movie's going to be, but there were some errors on the Regal app about when the movie's going to start, when is it going to be there. I didn't even see that this was actually posted until about 5 or 5:30 last night. So I said, you know what? Got done doing the adult thing, changed the brakes on my car, and let's go ahead and go see this movie. Now, the whole premise of the movie is there's a military disaster in Tasmania, and from there you have this zombie-like approach to the film. Now, I will preface this. There will be some spoilers in this, so if you're somebody that wants to wait till January, you may want to turn off because we're going to talk about specific scenes and things in the movie. But no, as you look at this movie, I think you have to look at the performance of Daisy Ridley and see, was it good or bad? And I think her performance was actually done pretty well because she is playing, in a sense, two different characters. She, on one hand, is playing a woman that her husband is missing. She's trying to figure out where he is, get answers, try to get closure. But on the other end, she is playing somebody that is caring, trying to build into this caring character. So you have the best of both worlds. And so the singular focus in this movie is on Daisy Ridley's character, Ava, and where things are going to go. But let's get right into this because I think you have to look at it. When you look at part one or act one, you're really focused on the perception of this group coming together and they are going to go out and try to find these dead bodies, find these situations, and see if anybody, as they call it, is rebooted or returning back to a normal state because ultimately they're zombies. If you've seen a zombie show or movie, you know what has to be done. And as you watch this, the first act kind of sets up some of the things that are taking place, but I think the first act is really ruined when you are watching the flashback scenes. So at the very beginning, we get to see Ava and her husband, and then it cuts into the situation that we are at with the military disaster, which makes sense, I guess. You get to see what's going on. But what you don't really get is why Ava's husband is at this place until the middle of the movie. So as you're trying to build up on what is going to take place, you have to rely, let's slow down, you have to rely on flashbacks and hope that the flashbacks give you enough perception to see what is going on. And I think the flashbacks ultimately ruin this movie because as you sit and watch these flashbacks, you have to kind of play into what you've already saw and what could come next. And so during the first part of this movie, it's this mission to find her husband, but yet we don't have any answers on why he is there. We just know that she needs to go out and find him. And I think with that first act, what really kind of ruins this whole perception of the movie is it's based on zombie-like creatures. And I have to say, you don't have a lot of it throughout the hour and a half. There are very select scenes where the zombies have an importance or even a factor in the movie. And so when you look at it from that perspective, you wonder, where's the actual zombie apocalypse or the zombie action going to come in? Because it's not there. And mind you, Regal deemed this movie as a horror movie. This was their horror movie, mystery movie. If you get scared from this movie, I just have to say this right away. If you get scared from this movie, you should never watch another horror movie in the world. In your life, you should never turn on something that is remotely scary because if this freaked you out, a real horror movie is going to completely blow you away. But now we get into act two, and I think when you look at the second act, that is where you start to buy into the character that Daisy Ridley's playing, Ava. You have a chance to kind of see two different sides. On one hand, she is the wife trying to get answers. Now she is in a fight for survival. She doesn't necessarily know what's going to happen next, and so she is in this predicament where she has to play a game to achieve what she is wanting to do, which is find her husband. And so what it really becomes in Act 2 is a fight for survival and really a fight for escape. And I think the second act is done well. I think it gives you enough where as you watch what's going on, you can see the characters, understand where things are going, and they ease you in to what the ultimate situation is. And so I think that's done well. But that is where it stops, because then we get to the third act, and by act 3, you can't really buy into what you're seeing because now she's a caring person. Now there are blinding lights from an RV shining down on people. Now you have the one burial that you see in the entire movie. We bury the dead, but you see one burial. Where's the title coming into play? Where are the zombies that are supposed to be in this movie? They're not there as much as you would think. And so then we get to Act 3 and the ending. It's kind of symbolic from things in Act 2. So I'll give you that. But there's so much missing in this movie where no matter what takes place, you just feel lost. I think the biggest drawback with this movie is the flashback scenes, because the flashbacks really do not provide enough substance where you should understand what is going on. Now, if you like zombie movies, you like the premise of zombies, you like The Walking Dead, you may like this movie. I have to say, as you watch this, you kind of think this would be better off as a TV show. Because at least in a TV show or a miniseries, you could break down situations a lot better than what you did in this movie. Now let's get into rating. I think for me, this movie does not come out till January, so it's not going to be included in the December perception of things. But for me, when it comes to We Bury the Dead, it is about a 2 out of 5. It's a movie where you try to buy in, you try to understand what's going on, but there are too many points in the movie where you get lost. Even the way that it ends with her and her husband, you kind of already guess that by the way it was built up. Even though the flashbacks kind of draw you away from the overall, or I shouldn't say overall, but the premise that they are going for, and you can kind of read between the lines. You just wish there was more in those situations that would guide you to the final conclusion. And so for me, We Bury the Dead is a 2 out of 5. It does come out in January, I believe January 1st. I may be wrong on that, but it does come out next week. If you have a chance to see it because you like Daisy Ridley or you think you like zombie movies, I shouldn't say you think, you do like zombie movies, go see it, I guess. But I have to say, this movie is not good. Even the acting of Daisy Ridley could not save this. It's not one-dimensional in her acting, but it is a one-dimensional storyline that is missing a lot. But stay tuned for more videos to come. We do have top 5 movies of 2025 coming out next week. Make sure to go check out the other reviews I have posted. Stay tuned for more videos. Go hit the subscribe button. Go follow me on all the social media pages, and I will talk to you all later.